Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this live replay episode with Verde, where we talk about God, we talk about mindset, we talk about self-love. We've brought in aspects of human design. We're talking about habits, we're talking about goals, and various different things. If you are new here, go ahead and say hi. Go ahead and comment throughout this Instagram live. I would like for you all to engage. Hello to those of you that are joining. Hello, Meredith. Hello, she's it. Hello. And for those of you that are watching this replay, you're more than welcome to comment and engage as well. So today we're talking about a very important topic. Today we're talking about how you can start co-creating a life that you want. So I put in the Instagram story, which you can go ahead and do now. If you do not already have a piece of paper and your phone, you can do this on either one. So grab a piece of paper or you can grab out your phone. And I want you to keep it close to you because we're about to do an exercise where we're going to go through a visualization. So I'm going to lead that. We're going to go through visualization. You're going to feel into your dream life, and then we're going to do something after, okay? So I want for us to all get comfortable if you're not already seated or in a comfortable position. And I want you to close your eyes. And throughout this Instagram live, because we're going to be going into different things today that can be triggering for you all. And what does that mean to be triggering? Triggering can be, it can irk you in certain ways. You can maybe feel it in your heart. You can feel some heat throughout your throat, throughout your face. So by breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, it allows your nervous system to go into a parasympathetic state. What does that mean? Parasympathetic state, a parasympathetic nervous system, when it's activated, this allows you to rest. This allows you to relax. This allows you to digest. Most of the time, if we're not aware, if we haven't reprogrammed our nervous system, we're in a sympathetic nervous system state, which that means that we are activated. We're in fight, we're in flight, or we're in freeze. Okay, fight, you're ready to go. You're like, let's go, right? Freeze, you don't know what to say. You feel like your throat's clogging. How do I talk? Where are the words? And then flight is, I'm yeeting out of here. Okay, so by breathing, it's a way for us to all regulate ourselves when we feel triggered, okay? So I want you to close your eyes with me. And let's just take some deep breaths to release anything that you're feeling. So in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just letting go of anything that you've taken on from the day today. And I want you to think about your dream life. I want you to think about the cars you drive. I want you to think about how your relationship with your kids are. I want you to think about how your relationship with your partner is. I want you to think about how your relationship with your friends are, what standards you have. I want you to think about how you treat and talk to yourself with grace, love. I want you to think about how you lead in this world. Boldness, confidence, respect, self-love. I want you to think about how you lead your team, how you lead your employees, how you manage multiple different businesses, how you own multiple different real estate properties, how you're a multi-billionaire, a trillionaire, how you volunteer your time to help with the environment and help educating yourself, how you're always learning in different ways and anchoring into gratitude and desire. How you have a beautiful relationship with God. How you go on different vacations and you're able to travel wherever you want and, get a jet if you want to, and at times taking a car or being able to fly first class to be able to, pay for all of your family. I want you to think about how you go and you speak and you help advocate and awaken and impact other people. So just think about your dream life. And really, during this time, give yourself permission to dream it. There could be little thoughts of, well, that's not realistic. Allow yourself in this time, just try it out. Allow yourself in this time to think about your dream life. Maybe that's taking more time to relax. Taking more time with family. And now I want you to open your eyes, and I want you to write what you just saw on the piece of paper or on your phone. Write what you saw. Write it on your phone. So, as you're writing this, I'm going to be talking as well. Because so often we can feel that, and then we feel disappointed when we come back into our reality, right? It's like, how many people felt that? You can go ahead and pop in the comments too. How many people have felt that? Or you can put little reactions as well. So often we think about, well, how do I get there? How do I get the cars? How do I start volunteering more? Yes, right. How do I start making more money? How do I build my assets? How do I build my real estate portfolio? How do I become a multi-billionaire? How? And then another question can be, well, what do I do? And when do I do it? And it's like we ask all of these important questions. Those are important questions to ask. But a question that we don't often ask is, who do I have to be in order to have all of that? And from what I've learned, from what I've experienced, who you are impacts everything that you do. Everything. It gives you the answers to your how. It gives you the answers to your when. It gives you the answers to all of that. I mean, even if it doesn't, when you get clear or more clear on who you are, everything changes. So what does this mean to get clear on who we are? What does this mean, Mallory? You're talking about who. What does that mean? From ages 0 to 7, we form our belief system. So our subconscious mind, which is a part of our belief system, is formed. It's where these beliefs, so beliefs that we have about the world, beliefs that we have about relationships, money, our body, eating, whatever it is, what's possible, what's not possible, that's when it's mainly formed from 0 to 7. Now, if we have a catastrophic event that happens when we're 14 or, 32, whatever it is, then of course that can shape our beliefs as well. But our belief system is mainly formed from 0 to 7. So what this means is that our concept of self, people also call this the ego, our concept of self is also mainly formed during that time, which makes sense. You're forming your main foundation beliefs from 0 to 7. So your concept of self is mainly forming when you're 0 to 7. Now, if we don't get curious on, let me rephrase that. Throughout life, we're also growing, we're evolving, we're changing. It makes sense we're not, to our conscious mind, the same person that we were when we are 7, right? It's like, that makes sense. Well, sometimes our beliefs don't recognize that. And so we're acting from a place of when we're 7, when we're 27, 37, 57, 67, 77. And so this is because our concept of self, our ego, it doesn't like change. It doesn't want to feel discomfort. And so in a way, it's protecting us. It's protecting us based on what we know, what we've learned from 0 to 7, from parents, family, media, movies, books, our neighborhood, school, shows, friends, teachers, mentors, tutors, all of that. So, for example, if you had someone, like let's say you were going up to speak at 7 years old or 6 years old, whatever it is. And you go up to the classroom and you're about to speak, you're about to show your presentation, like it's show and tell, you're about to speak, and a kid laughs. And maybe they're 6 and they're just laughing at, a fly that passes by, right? But we take it personally as, oh my gosh, they're laughing at me. And the story is not the point is not whether or not they were laughing at you or not. The realization is they're laughing at me, or the belief then is they're laughing at me. And then what starts to happen is I'm not a good speaker. So what then happens from 6 years old, we start to unconsciously believe that we are not good speakers. So then what happens? We start showing up as a shy person. Or we don't ask for what we want in relationships. Or we don't feel like we're worthy because we're scared of being laughed at again. We don't want someone to laugh at us again. So our ego keeps us safe. Our concept of self keeps us safe. So it's not a bad or good thing, it just is. But again, we might not realize this consciously, but we're acting from a place of when we're 6 years old. And what the power of personal development is, the power of understanding your who more, or getting more clear on your who, is that you get to redefine who you want to be. Let's say, for example, you really want to be bold and confident, and you feel that within yourself. You can redefine that and make that your who. So our beliefs are formed from a young age, and if again catastrophic event happens, then that can shift our beliefs as well. So it's important throughout our life that we start to look at what beliefs are not helping us. What ideas that we have about ourselves are not helpful anymore. And so we can try to figure out the how, we can try to figure out the when, the what, we can try to figure out all those things. And let's say, for example, for you, one of them is that you want to own 100 real estate properties, let's say. And you're like, oh, okay, I want to be a multi-billionaire. I want to be a trillionaire. I want to own 100 real estate properties. okay, cool. You have this goal and you think about how you want to do it. You think about when you want to do it. You think about what you want to do. And so you do it. And maybe, you're not being as intentional, or maybe, you kind of bypass your values a little bit. And maybe you've lied sometimes to get where you want to go. And then you have the 100 real estate properties and you're a multi-billionaire, but you're lonely and you're unhappy. And you're like, well, why? Well, I achieved all these things, but there wasn't any clarity in regards to who you were being throughout all of that process. And this is also where the stereotype that wealthy people or that rich people are evil, and they're not. Money is not evil per se. It's not. You can have all the money in the world and be an evil person, whatever word you want to use, or you can have no money and be an evil person. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It matters who you are, because there are so many wealthy and rich people that are doing amazing things and that they are amazing, impactful people because of who they are. So that's what's also important throughout this whole process of life, is that, of course, have the goals, dream big. I am such a big advocate for that, and I do that myself, and I actively participate in that in my life, because I think that's important, and taking aligned action is important to do. Building that consistency, building aligned habits, and being kind to ourselves throughout the way is important to do. And being clear on who we are throughout the whole process is so important, because if something that's really important to you, when you think about who you are, family, aligned friendships, making time for them, taking that intentional time, being kind to yourself, volunteering, giving to people who are experiencing homelessness. When you really start to think about, okay, I really want to be bold, and I really want to be caring, and I really want to help change the environment, and I really want to help advocate for animals, and I really want to help advocate for my race, and I really want to help advocate for my religion. I really want to help, do all these different things. It's important to be clear on who we want to be. And of course that can change, and it will change. But it's important that we remain clear in regards to who we want to be, because who we want to be then dictates how you have the 100 real estate properties, how you earn your first million. What do you do with it? If you aren't as clear in regards to who you want to be, you might spend it all on a Lambo or a few. But when you're clear in regards to who you are, and you know the intentions that you want to do, you know how you want to show up in the world because you're already showing up in that way, you then realize, ooh, okay, cool, I'll buy a few properties. Ooh, okay, cool. Something that's really important to me in regards to who I want to be is I want to help take care of my family, and they can help take care of themselves. They can do that, right? But it's like being able to provide for them or give back to them based on opportunities that they've provided you, or they've provided me. So, okay, I want to then take a trip, or I want to then treat my family. Or, ooh, okay, I'll be able to donate some of this money to my local church to be able to help them with this project that they're doing, right? So you get to be clear, or I want to put it in a high yield savings account and have that build. So that way it's set up for my future kids, or add my siblings on as beneficiaries. So that way they're able to have it if something were to happen, right? So it's like you get to be intentional with who you are, and money is not evil. It does provide us with so many amazing opportunities, but it's important to be clear on who you're being throughout all of it. And when you're clear on who you want to be, and you start showing up from that space over and over and over and over and over again, that becomes your new norm. That becomes your new habit. And you start to get more clear on how you show up, on how you lead, how you talk to your employees, how you talk to your coworkers, how you lead your clients, how you talk to your family, your friends. It just solves everything. How you have your relationship with God, it solves all of that. So go ahead and put in the comments, go ahead and put some reactions, how you all are feeling. What are some takeaways from this thus far? Because your identity work is really, really, really powerful. And that is one of the biggest pieces I have found that I've learned that helps you co-create a life you want. A life you want. The visualization on that paper, on your phone, that who you're being, who you are. You want the visualization to happen? Get clear on who you are and start showing up from that place, because that's how it happens. Alongside, I feel, as I reference God. So, this work, we go so much deeper into in the Maison. The Maison is a year experience for you to get more clear, to learn different tools to help you in your day-to-day life based on who you want to be. Based on who you want to be. Because again, this impacts everything that we do. Your concept of who. And so when you think about, and I had this question that came up for me today, and also a question that I saw earlier, is, well, why should I invest with you? Why should I invest with you? And you can be thinking about this with whoever it is. And I want you to think about, well, what happens if you don't? I got the question, what's the ROI? And I want you to think about, well, what happens if you don't? Everything stays the same. Everything stays the same in your business, in your bank account, in your assets, in your life. Everything will stay the same. And so are you willing to stay comfortable? Are you willing to stay with what you know? Or are you willing to take the opportunity on yourself and get that ROI of ease, of confidence, of boldness, of practical day-to-day skills that help you? And even if you do something, and it can be this or something else, let's say, for example, even if you do something and you're like, oh, that really wasn't for me. From what I've learned, even just learning skills are so helpful because it allows you to get more clear, again, based on who you want to be. So to join the Maison, I wanted to make it super easy, like a gym membership. It's $50. $50 starting. And if you want one-on-one access with me throughout the experience, you have that access too. So think about, what happens if I don't do this? Well, your life stays the same. What happens if I do this? Your life will change. So it depends on what you want. And so who I'm speaking to now is the individuals that are so ready to take action. You are ready. And you are to the point where you are, some of you, fed up with how your life is going right now. You're fed up with the bank account. You're fed up with how the businesses are going. You're fed up with the workspace. You're fed up in life. And you know something needs to shift. You know it because you feel it so deep in yourself. The visualization that you wrote down on that paper, that you wrote down on your phone, you feel it so deep within yourself that to other people, you might feel like it sounds crazy. Let them think it's crazy. Because this is your life we're talking about. And if we know for sure we have one life, don't you want to look back and think, thank goodness I tried, versus what if? Versus, oh, I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have said the thing. I wish I would have invested in that thing. I wish I would have taken the chance. What would you rather? And it doesn't matter. I also want to share this too. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter where you are. You can start at any time. I have a coach that I'll share some of her story. She's amazing. She's in her 60s. She had 2 different businesses and she sold both of them. And she's absolutely incredible. She started her own business in her 60s. And she's amazing. And we coach each other. So I get coaching for free in regards to the exchange that we provide, plus that counts for our hours. So it's an awesome win-win. So don't let age, race, religion, any of it stop you. Because of course, while there are things that can impact us in different ways, absolutely it's not discrediting that or ignoring that. But we can then start to shift and see, how can I show up from a space based on who I want to be? And so if you want change, if you want to implement a life that you visualize, it is your decision. It's not my decision. It's not your mom's decision, your dad, your guardian, parent, partner, best friend. It's not anyone else's decision but yours. So what are you going to decide for 2025 plus the rest of your life? To join us in the Maison, you can comment Maison. This is MAISON. And let this be the next best step you take towards your growth. I hope you have an amazing day. I hope this ignites motivation and impact and awaken parts within yourself. Because that is something I went to a conference recently. And that is something that fueled me, that reminded me of what fuels me as a part of my motivation, is to help impact and awaken you. So I hope this was impactful and awakening for you. And if you can take anything away from this in different ways, is that you have a choice. You always have a choice. You can't necessarily control what happens to you, but you have a choice whether you stay the same of how your life is now. And that's not investing or anything you do. Or you take the chance, you make the change, and you start living the life that you wrote down. So what will you choose? I hope you all have a beautiful day. Thank you for hopping on this Instagram live with me. To She's It, Meredith, Michelle, RZ, Marl, Garrison, Shyla, JX, Steph, Manifester, Akita, Esbridge, for everyone who joined, for everyone that's watching the replay. Thank you. I appreciate you. And you can freaking do it. Dream big. Sky is not even the limit. Start showing up from a space of who you want to be and watch everything shift in your life. I hope you all have a beautiful day. Message me with any questions that you have. You can message us. We're here to assist you. I hope you have a lovely day. And just make the choice. Have a nice one.